The Aztec Alacatl was returning to Tenochtitlan, the city of Mexico. He had word that the strangers had returned, but news of the failure of the Tabascan defense preceded him, carried on the wind by the messengers of Moctezuma. As he was passing along the causeway that led to the palace, his peaceful though puzzled thoughts did not warn him of impending trouble. At the palace, he was led straight into the presence of the emperor. He bowed low and touched the ground with his finger, then brought its dryness to his lips. Many times he had looked into the eyes of his master and been filled with awe by their sense of power. Even now he sensed the magical union Moctezuma shared with the dread Huitzilopochtli, fearsome yet all-protecting god of sun and war. Alacatl wondered at the intensity of Moctezuma's stare and began to feel a fear that he often seen in others. He strained mentally for the words of Moctezuma and wondered what thoughts might be revealed. Emissary! Alacatl stared at the sound. He feared that his own death sentence was revealed in the harsh, grating voice. You have not returned with the offerings you have been sent for. The story of the Tabascan battle has already been delivered to me, and no strangers have been brought to fill the altars of the temple. Moctezuma's words rang in the ears of his servant. The Tabascans had failed. Then the strangers were coming. And now his missions of death were to be climaxed by the delivery of his own person to the sacrificial stone. You shall provide the feast for the gods at midnight, said Moctezuma. Alacatl's thoughts whirled, pacing ahead and vibrating behind the words of Moctezuma. He felt his spirit weaving a path out from his body, then felt another jarring explosion as Moctezuma spoke again. It shall be your sacrifice, but you shall not be the victim. Moctezuma's voice had changed. Alacatl saw in his eyes the ashes of a fire extinguished. It was the vacant look of the Tabascan chief, the fear inspired by the proximity of the strange white beings. Moctezuma's voice followed the transition, and he began to talk in an unmodulated, clicking tone. Tomorrow, you shall... His voice stopped as he began to speak, then continued as if displaced by a different power. It continued in a chanting, magical sing-song. Tomorrow shall be, it shall become. Tomorrow I shall be coming. Tomorrow shall be, it shall become. Tomorrow I shall be coming. Moctezuma stopped again. His eyes closed, then opened. Tomorrow you shall leave for the coast. I will have gifts prepared for the visitors, but hear me now, Alacatl. They are to be forbidden entrance to my capital. You will receive them and convey my wishes. Now go. Alacatl bowed low and kissed the ground, then retreated from the room. Moctezuma dismissed his attendants, then entered the passageway that led to the labyrinthine walls below the temple of Huitzilopochtli. Perhaps here he could find an answer. As he hurried, he became obsessed with the thought that there were others in the halls around him. The muffled sounds from the street grew faint as he descended, but still the scuffling of footsteps seemed to grow in his mind. The torches in the dark hall were more distant now, and his time in the darkness increased. He thought of the strangers. We'll outlive it. They are coming to replace us, and we shall go before it. But when and where? I was happy once. I rode the crest of the power, but now it is only a battle, and we must protect ourselves. Walking in the darkness, Moctezuma suddenly crashed into another body. Who goes there? Dog, on your knees. Do not do homage. Crawl now, crawl. Master, I grovel at thy feet. I was performing errands for the cult. Hold thy tongue, insolent bastard. I am the god. The cult is mine, and for me, crawl, I tell you, to the height of the pyramid. You have looked on my face and touched my person. Death for the honor and strength of Huitzilopochtli. The priest crawled towards a lamp on the wall and continued into the darkness, mournfully lamenting his fate. Performing for the cult, he says. He's a magician, that one is. Good for nothing, they all are. Blinder than a heartless corpse. They should all be put to flames. Moctezuma arrived in his old home in the womb of the temple. It was here that he had passed the priesthood, preparing for the mysteries that were to come, and forming a permanent bond with the spirit god of the temple. He was Huitzilopochtli's then, and now they were the same. He thought of the strangers. Were they going to fall before Huitzilopochtli? Or was Huitzilopochtli relinquishing his hold upon the universe? He was terrified.